Whitstable, Kent, a peaceful seaside town, famous for its oysters, charming streets, and one of its most beloved residents, Peter Cushing. Today we're exploring the life he led here, the legacy he left behind, and the places you can still visit to feel close to this legendary actor. Peter Cushing was born in 1913 and was one of Britain's greatest actors. Known for his iconic roles in Hammer horror films, playing Dr. Frankenstein and Van Helsing, and even appearing as Grand Moff Tarkin in Star Wars. Beyond the screen, he was a gentle and creative man, an artist, a friend to his community, and a devoted resident of Whitstable. Cushing first visited Whitstable in the 1940s and bought a house here in the late 50s. At first, it was just a weekend retreat, but it soon became his permanent home. Locals remember him as unassuming and gracious, blending quietly into town life. He loved cycling along the seafront, walking to the harbour and spending hours painting the town's charming scenery. Whitstable gave him peace, and in return, he left a legacy the town cherishes to this day. So I've just got to sit on the Peter Cushing bench, which is known as Cushing's View, that was presented by Helen and Peter to the people of Whitstable, who they loved so very much. And I am just coming up past the old Neptune pub, where I might have to stop for a quick refreshment, and then I'll be going on to the house that Peter Cushing lived in with Helen. Well, he is here in Whitstable. Yeah, we'll cut just before I started rumbling. So just behind me, as you can see, is the house that Peter Cushing lived in while he resided here in Whitstable. He first visited Whitstable, I think, in the 40s, but that house became his permanent residence in 1958. I think the locals regarded him as gracious, unassuming, as you'd expect him to be, a true gentleman. And just imagine him coming out there, going for long walks down to the harbour that way, or cycling. He was an avid cyclist, loved it. Or just being inspired by the view that he got from his window up there. So there's the Peter Cushing house, just there over my left shoulder. And you just imagine how much beauty and peace he was surrounded by here. With that as a view, can't really complain at that. But yeah, I mean, I suppose one of the main reasons that he moved here, not only for its beauty and its scenery, but was for the people. The people was very community driven. I think he found peace here. Solace. That was the film world, doing big Hammer horror films, projected him into a massive star, a legend. And for him, the people of Whitstable respected his privacy. Just a gentle nod here and there, a hello, or a polite conversation. So coming away from Peter Cushing's house, many a times, almost daily basis, he would have either walked or most likely cycled this way, headed towards Sea Salter. He was known to go to the Sportsman bar and restaurant that's still located there to this day. But also I believe that Helen, his wife, is buried in a church just elevated up slightly inland, I think, from Sea Salter. So yeah, most likely would have cycled there and tended a grave and so on. And he had been seen up there many times, and once people knew that Helen was buried there, they'd often go there, a chance to see Peter Cushing, which, you know, I have mixed feelings about, because he's there to reflect and think of his wife. And although he's got a load of fans that want to see him, sometimes it's just, you know, you've got to respect that person's privacy, no matter how famous they are. Yeah, so Peter Cushing, I grew up watching Hammer horror films, loved them. Obviously with Christopher Lee, he also was Van Helsing, and in Star Wars, which is brilliant. So we had to stop once again for a much needed beverage, but also to reflect on not only Peter Cushing, but his wife Helen. He loved her so much. It was said, and he attested to this, that when she died, he was so distraught, he ran up and down his stairs in his house, non-stop, to try and induce a heart attack so he could be reunited with her. But later he confessed that it had the adverse effect, of course, because that's exactly what the heart needed, was that level of exercise to keep it going. So I just think that's quite poignant, very poignant. And this is one of the routes that Peter Cushing would have taken and known to have taken. So he would have come out of his house, which is just on the other side of this golf course, and come this way, so the opposite way to which we're walking now. Came this way over the railway line to a street where there's stunning houses one after the other, and then come back this way, golf course. What a lovely walk, and back towards the coast. That's where his house is, which I think is just down that way on the left. The Tudor Tea Rooms, a truly authentic English tea shop, is the perfect place to stop for lunch, boasting a fantastic tea selection, freshly made sandwiches, toasties and baguettes and Sunday roasts, and served by such wonderful staff. And it's no secret once you're inside, as you are surrounded by memories of Peter Cushing at every turn. Whitstable offered him a sanctuary, a place to paint, reflect, and enjoy simple pleasures. For Cushing, it was more than a retirement spot. It was home. The town gave him peace. He gave them a legacy. Peter Cushing may have left us, but his spirit lives on in Whitstable, in its streets, its seafront, and in the hearts of those who remember him. If you visit Kent, stop by his bench, see the mural, or enjoy a drink at the Peter Cushing pub. a small way to connect with a true local legend. The building, now Wetherspoons, used to be an Art Deco cinema. If you liked this video and enjoyed the tour, please subscribe for more stories from the UK. And comment below, would you visit Whitstable to walk in Peter Cushing's footsteps?